Are you willing to spend $1,800 on the M5 Mac, or would you rather grab yourself the M1 MacBook Pro for $700? Because jokes aside, this is like buying the exact same car model with a different paint job at a higher price tag. Take the MacBook Pro models for instance. From the M1 all the way to the M5, they all have the exact same hardware. It's the exact same chassis made from the exact same materials. They all have the exact same 120Hz ProMotion display. The only difference being that the M5 comes with a native 1000 nits for SDR content, but since it's the exact same panel, you can achieve 1600 nits on an older M1 model with an app, so it's basically locked behind some software file. They all have the exact same set of speakers and ports configuration. They have a 10 to 25 increase in performance per generations, and don't get me wrong, the slight increase in GPU or CPU performance is most welcome, but the matter of fact is that even the older M1 MacBook Air or Pro in real-world use cases still does everything an M5 can. A few other improvements include Bluetooth 5.3 from 5.0 and a slightly faster Wi-Fi 6E. These are all nice to have but not reason enough to upgrade, because all Apple Silicon Macs still offer that seamless workflow in real life. All models support the exact same apps and software updates. All Pro softwares like video editing, music production, graphics, and 3D software still work flawlessly, the only difference being that the newer chips render slightly faster than the older ones by minutes, which isn't life-changing. By the way, this video is sponsored by Kadorable. More on them a bit later in the video. This is the exact same issue we saw with the 2018 iPad Pro. That thing was just way too good for Apple's own sake, and it took Apple years to give users an actual reason to upgrade. Some would argue even now the newer iPads aren't dramatically better than the 2018 Pro. So is Apple Silicon just too good for Apple's own sake? How will Apple even convince someone with an M1 Pro, M2 Air, or even an M3 Pro to upgrade? Obviously, Apple would need to deliver something significant, not just some speed bumps, because right now every new generation is basically 10 or 25% faster with a slightly better efficiency and perhaps an extra GPU core, and that's just not enough. They are probably going to push for updates by cutting software support early, which they've already started trimming older Intel model support, perhaps introducing exclusive features only for newer chips, like trying to use Apple Intelligence as the reason to upgrade, or even making macOS heavier with new features that demand more performance. But right now, no one really knows. Not even Apple seems to be fully sure how they'll push people forward without making the older machines look too good, which they already are. According to Reddit, most people keep their laptops for 3 to 5 years, but honestly speaking, even the older M1 lineup still feels like it can do another 5 to 8 years, despite the fact that it's now a little over 4 years since the release. I honestly have no idea how Apple will convince Apple Silicon users to switch to newer models, because Apple Silicon changed everything. Maybe a little too much, because it just feels like the only reason to upgrade is if something breaks or for a battery swap, and that is a strange place for Apple to be in. I hope this video got you thinking differently about Apple and the M series chip. If you feel generous enough and would love to support the channel, you can do so by grabbing me a cup of coffee with the link in the description box down below. Are you upgrading to an $1,800 laptop, or you're keeping your older Apple Silicon laptop? Perhaps you're new to Apple Silicon and you're considering buying one. Will you go for the new M5 model, or you're saving up and grabbing yourself an older model? If so, make sure to use Apple Refurbished for amazing deals with a warranty from Apple themselves. Find the links in the description box as well. Grab yourself a cover from Kadorable with the link in the description. Stay tight.